And now, Hardcore Wrestling presents In the News with Bay Area MVP.
Good afternoon, hardcore wrestling fans all over the nation, worldwide, wherever you're at. Kick back, have a drink, grab some snacks, as we have a good one here today for HWR in the News. We are sponsored by the letters HWR, our new medicine, fucking shoot me, 2,000 milligrams. Thanks to Andy, and are we really going to have a good WrestleMania? Hashtag. But before we go into it, let's bring in the HWR crew for February 26, 2015. First, he is the boss of HWR. You can find him anywhere on YouTube, SoundCloud, Daily Motion, and at your local pizza parlor. He's the boss, Rick. Rick, please say the snow's over, please.
Oh, God, no. It's still fucking snowing, believe me, and I don't think there's any sign of stopping.
Well, we pray for the best. And finally, Lance Moss from YouTube.com. Lance, please say Tennessee's not snowing.
Not well. With it, if I would have to been lying if you would have asked me 24 hours ago.
Okay. Well, what city do you live in?
I'm not divulging that information.
He lives by Jerry the King Lawler. Yes! No, just kidding. All right, folks, we're going to start off with a little bit of a surprise that was brought to the HWR crew as of 15 minutes ago, which the WWE issued the following press release. And usually we don't take these things to heart, but this is not kayfabe, folks, so it's not kayfabe, trust us. Effective immediately. They didn't say the time that Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and a 15-year veteran of the WWE web mobile and video development game, Robin Peterson, has been elected to the WWE Board of Directors. And a little excerpt here before we go to you, Rick. They said that they are confident with electing Stephanie, Triple H, and Robin as they continue to transform their business and look towards a new era of unprecedented growth and more well-positioned for future success. So, Rick, we just heard this news 15 minutes ago. Share your thoughts. We'll start with you.
Well, it just shows how the company's going to be changing because, you know, if you remember that Vince was the board of directors, and so you got to wonder, what does Vince think about all this? Because Vince was, you know, the man. Now he's obviously no longer the boss. He obviously doesn't have control of his own company anymore. So, but at least, you know what, though, it's good to know that the McMahons at least still have some control of the company. A lot of people really don't have a lot of faith in Triple H because he seems to think he's an idiot. But if you go over to look at NXT, which many people, including myself, still say that NXT is the saving grace of the company, it's a phenomenal product. And if they do anything with the main roster, with what they're doing with NXT, they can really turn that company around.
Very well said. Lance, to you.
I'm not sure what the hell this means.
Basically, what Rick said is basically they're going to get more executive powers within the WWE.
Because I wasn't sure if creative was going to change and all that good stuff and all that. But, yeah, if Triple H getting more power and having more influence, if he can have, because we all know Vince is, I'm guessing, still the chairman of the board.
Yes, he's still chairman. Yes, that's correct.
So he's getting more power, but he doesn't have the great power that Vince has. It's still, Vince's word is still pretty much God when it comes to day-to-day operations.
Yeah, and we'll note you, great HWR fans, the day that Vince McMahon is no longer in power, we will let you know.
Yeah.
As I'll have a small thing to say. I'm not much into politics or nothing like that, and all I can say is Vince can't run it anymore. I mean, look what Triple H has done. And like the boss said, folks, NXT is the saving grace of that company with all that young talent that can go on the main roster and do it when the real veterans, you know, decide to hang up their boots. I mean, it wasn't a move I thought would happen. None of us here thought it would happen. But you know what? It happened. And, you know, I mean, even though the Authority has a heel role, but going forward, I mean, in my personal opinion, I wanted Shane McMahon to come back, but, wishful thinking, but it won't happen. But at least Triple H and Stephanie will at least do something more productive going forward now that they've been elected and have more executive powers now. I mean, we would have to see, but Rick hit it on the nose. I mean, the direction going forward, I mean, hey, time will only tell, but this is a very, very intriguing move. But, you want your company to thrive forward, you got to throw some thorns out, right? There you go. Next, guys, I can't believe I heard about this, but WWE was in talks with Samoa Joe. Now, you guys are thinking, Willie, you're crazy. No, I'm not. According to the Wrestling Observer, that there are currently active talks right now, as we speak, in this space-time continuum between WWE and free agent Samoa Joe, who left TNA due to not really a contract dispute, but they left on good terms. I guess Joe wants to see if he can hack it in the Indies, because currently right now he's in Ring of Honor. And basically, if they were to bring him in, NXT, where he would basically go to if he goes there. Now, Lance, NXT for Samoa Joe, good or bad? Start with you.
Well, that's a twofold question. NXT for Samoa Joe, good. WWE main roster for Samoa Joe, fucked. Because I see them doing what they did to the Ascension of Samoa Joe. If he was to sign. Last I heard, he turned them down.
Well, yeah, because the last time they talked was in 2010, before Hulk Hogan, brother, got to TNA. But, we'll save that for another segment. Well, Rick, good or bad for Joe? If he goes into WWE, he'll be in NXT, or should he be main roster? Share your thoughts.
It really is, like Lance said, it really is a kind of a double-edged sword. I don't think it would really be a bad thing. NXT, like I said, I have nothing bad to say about NXT either way. As we see right now, Kevin Owens is going there, and I think it's going to do leaps and bounds. Now, Kevin Owens was Ring of Honor, and he decided to go from Ring of Honor to NXT. He went the other way. Now, if you ask me honestly, we tried talking about it with Andy, and I really didn't want to make a long-term conversation with it, so I just kind of cut the conversation off. But what I wanted to say last night was, very simply, anybody who goes from the Indies, and TNA, is a glorified indie wrestling company, period. Anybody who wants to disagree, unless of course you're a TNA mark, will disagree. You want to go to the WWE because it's the pinnacle of all wrestling. So that's where Joe should have gone. Now, maybe whether he didn't want to go because he knows that he probably would have been stuck in NXT for many, many, many years. Now, yes, once he got up to the main roster, he probably would have never became world champion. As great as a wrestler as he is, never would have happened. But, Joe from CWA, Joseph Knight, would have said one thing. What that would have done for his career is he could have left, and he could have gone to the Indies, and any indie wrestler any indie wrestling company would have paid more. Why? Because now he's Samoa Joe, previously from the WWE, and then they would have paid him more money.
Very well said, Rick. You both had good points on this, and I'm going to agree. I got nothing else that you both said exactly what I wanted to say. I mean, other than Joe would have never been in any type of title hunt, and they would have probably asked Joe to lose a few pounds because, if we look back at all of our current big stars, like a Big Show, a Mark Henry, TNA stars like Grotto and Tyrus, many people would say, it's time for you to lose weight, hippity boop blah, but then we go back to Kevin Owens when he debuted and how big he was, shocked to everybody. But yeah, you guys nailed it. I can't say anything more. You both hit it right on the button. So, I mean, right now he's booked with mostly 5 to 6 Ring of Honor dates right now. And we'll see where it goes from here, folks. And a little bit of information I just found out through a source and through one of James from the Big Easy Friends who's not on the show today is and basically what Joseph Knight, our HWR brother for the CWA, we've been talking about this for so long, and supposedly this is just a bunch of horseshit I'm about to say, but now they're saying that Rey Mysterio has finally been released. Supposedly, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because they moved his profile to the alumni section. But let's be honest, folks. And guys, I'm going to go first. And I've talked about this for many months. But I have to get this out the way. Let me go first on this one. WWE, I don't know if you executives, corporate people listen to our show. I'm going to go first. And I want you to let this sink in. He's not happy in your company. Vince signed Rey Mysterio for another year for what? The last time we seen him, he was basically in a match against Bad News Barrett. And this was last year. Doesn't make sense that you guys want to sign him for a year and then he's not doing nothing, and now you guys are going to cave in. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, let it go. I mean, Rey Mysterio, he should have been retired a long time ago, but, these are superstars. These are wrestlers that like to live beyond the lights and everything like that. But come on, WWE, do the right thing. If he's not happy like you guys did many other stars, I mean, come on. Really? Let him go. Save yourself the epitome in the checks. Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think he probably has been future endeavored, which is the WWE's termed. But I think they've done it rather quietly rather than made an announcement. I was looking just while you were talking over on WWE's page to see if they did anything in their news, but they've not made any announcement. They've just kind of like you said, just put them in the alumni section, which is usually a pre-setting before they do anything. So, and of course, we've been saying this. It's been almost a year now since Rey Mysterio has been trying to get out of his contract, and it's been quite some time. So he has not been happy. So it's obviously that's where it's heading.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect, I mean, they should have just did it anyway. Be professional about it. Don't do it like the Quiet Storm, because it fucking doesn't make any type of sense. It just doesn't.
Well, if you want to look even towards the situation with CM Punk, obviously in the same situation, CM Punk wanted out of his contract, and he wanted out, and he wanted out, and he wanted out, and he wanted out. Want to know why? It's because he's a high merch, product, a wrestler. Same thing with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was one of his. I think he was the highest merchant next to. He may have not been a bigger champion, but his merchandise was huge in the merchandise area. And they just didn't want to let that go.
There you go. Lance, go on.
Well, honestly, I think I've said everything I have to say about... Because we all know... I think I know the main reason that Rey didn't get released earlier. Because we all know Vince wants everything his way when he's ready for somebody to be gone. They can be gone. When not, oh, hell no, you ain't getting out of this shit. Because, let's face it, he's strung people along for too damn long. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I either think one or two things. Rey is retiring from entering WWE stuff, and they moved him to the as a booker, because I don't know if, like, let's say the Outlaws are in the alumni section or not. Can somebody find that out? Because I know Billy Gunn and Road Dogg are both agents. So they either did that, or they just, Vince said, okay, enough of this bullshit, go on.
Exactly. Thank you. See, we're the smart ones here, folks. I mean, to WWE, all they see is dollar signs. To us, we know that they're not happy. So, smart thing to do, let them go. They're not going to die in the ring for you anyway, so what's the damn point? Now, finally, last article here, folks, is The Undertaker being kept off WWTV, as the boss brought it to my attention earlier today before we went on the air. It's just basically Taker did not exactly accept the challenge or come on live TV to accept the challenge. What they wanted to do is do the same thing what Sting did to Triple H. You know, do the Titantron I accept thing. So WWE teased the following, and Rick, I'll go to you. The following excerpt says this: It is constant in life that everything will eventually come to an end. Keynote end, ladies and gentlemen. And despite Bray Wyatt's cries for a monumental clash on the grandest stage of them all, he may look elsewhere for his WrestleMania moment. The WWE Universe will simply have to wait on the edge to see if The Undertaker's WrestleMania reign is truly over. So, Rick, after what I just read, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to say the same question all over again. Is Bray Wyatt getting The Undertaker, or is The Undertaker really gone from WWE? That's all we want to know. Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously they're setting up a match for this. You know, there's no question. I think they're just, you know, because the Undertaker is just dragging out his last match and he doesn't want to spend less airtime than he has to. And it sucks because for me, I hate it, and I'll be glad when he retires. I want him to retire. I want this to be his last match. That's all I have to say. I'm done.
As I was laughing in the background, you said that so professionally, Rick. Good kudos. Lance, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, we all know he is not done yet, quite yet, because they wouldn't have put as much behind this. They wouldn't have started this angle up if they would have known he was done this year. That's not how they work, and that's basically, yeah.
You guys don't have much to say about it.
Because it sucks and it's stupid and it's just, you know, I just want the Taker to retire and go away. And I'm sorry for you Undertaker marks who love him and just, you know, yeah, great. All his promos are awesome, but his wrestling sucks, guys. Just get over it. He's an old man, you know. Look at his pictures. Go on and go look at his pictures when he's hanging out with Michelle McCool. He looks like Grandpa.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like the Undertaker of old. Now, don't get me wrong. The man can probably still kick my ass, but the guy looks like an old man. He is an old man. And he's, 49 years old? I don't want to get on him right, because I do respect the man. I respected everything he's done, but I'll respect him more when he retires and gets inducted in the Hall of Fame, which he greatly deserves. But please, don't be like Ric Flair and keep on wrestling. Please, move on.
Woo!
Honestly, does he have 2 great matches left in him? Probably 99%.
No, you don't.
But will whoever, we don't know when Taker's contract is up. We just don't know. I, for some reason, see, because they started hyping this sumbitch up when they signed Sting. I see that happening next year. Will it be a good idea? I highly doubt that, but I see it happening. I don't want to see it happen, but I see it happening.
They shouldn't be. Undertaker's thing should not happen. I'm sorry. Undertaker's last match already proved it.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And another phrase came to my mind, and it's just, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh, very well said. Well, folks, as always, we'd like to thank you for listening to our shows. We're very appreciative and grateful you guys listening to us here on HWR in the News. But we'd like to know is, how do you feel about Triple H definitely going to being elected to the board of directors? Good move. Samoa Joe being possibly signed by the WWE while he's in Ring of Honor right now. More thoughts about Rey Mysterio? I know we said this months and months ago, but WWE does know how to let go. Like the boss always says, they see dollar signs. And should Undertaker even be in a ring anymore? All three of us here say no, but we'd like to know what you guys think, you know? Leave your comments in the comment section below. We'll let you know any more updates from here until Mania. If anything comes through, keep updated here at HWR. Rick, take us out. Where can they find us at?
Of course, you can always check us out on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And anytime you want to listen to any of our shows, you can check us out on YouTube, Daily Motion, and now you can also catch us a ride on SoundCloud.com. Just look us up on HWR Show.
All right, Lance, tell the fans what you do on YouTube. What goes on?
I'm at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. I have album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, and I have the archives of controversy and scandals from HWR. And don't check me out on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
All right, and you guys can find me on HWR, over on HWR Show on SoundCloud. I'm everywhere, so, you know, whatever I post, you guys will stay tuned. So, with that said, for the boss, the incomparable one, and me, Will from the Bay, saying, will this be a great WrestleMania? Will this be anything to look forward to? If there's more matches going forward, you know where to stick to Hardcore Wrestling Radio. We'll keep you updated. So, till then, we'll see you next time here on HWR.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the News. Be sure to check us out over at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and also be sure to follow us over at dailymotion.com/HWR Show. And now, check us out at our new location, soundcloud.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.